so that you can get your discount. Friends, let me tell you, it's all a lie. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and I am a lifestyle nursing and travel YouTube. If you have been following me, you know the last video that I did was a vlog. My partner and I went to Cabo beginning of the year, and if you watched that video, if you watched it towards the end, you should know that I was planning to do a part 2, and that is what we're here to do today. Part 2 will pretty much entail like expenses on flight, hotel, excursions, and some of the things to keep in mind. I will break it down in like before the trip, what the things that we did before the trip and the things that we did during the trip, and then end it with things to keep in mind while you are in Cabo, Mexico. If you have never been to Cabo, Mexico, this is the perfect video for you. I too, that was the first time for me to go there. I learned a lot of things during planning for the trip and also being there. My plan for this video is to educate you on those things that I learned. So the first thing, so before the trip, of course, when you see me looking over to the side, I have my computer right here and I'm looking at my notes, so do not feel some type of way, okay? So before the trip, first of all, of course, we booked the flight and the hotel. So we used Expedia. I've been using Expedia for a very long time for booking all my flights and hotels, and so that's why I actually chose to use Expedia, not because of anything else. It's just that I've been using for a long time and I am very familiar with it and I'm comfortable with it to book my flights and hotels. So we ended up doing the all-inclusive for 2 people. So technically and this is one of the things which I learned actually doing this, because I mean, I don't know about you, but when you go somewhere for the first time, you're bound to make mistakes here and there because there are things that you really were not keen on or you were not anticipating, things like that. So when we were booking the flight, the hotel, as I say, we're intending to do an all-inclusive, and I think when I was booking, I didn't realize that I do not, because so when you go to book the hotel, it'll give you various choices, and it's really important for you to actually read the description so that you can know what package is what. So I think the one that I initially booked was just a regular package where they're giving you free breakfast and free Wi-Fi. I didn't really read the fine print to see if it was all-inclusive, and yeah, all-inclusive. For the all-inclusive for 2 people, we ended up spending about $2,000, which I thought was super inexpensive. The other thing too is we decided to book our excursions, the majority of the excursions that we wanted to do before, and I highly recommend this just because it saves you money. Yeah, like literally it saves you money. Because one thing I realized, if you decide to book the excursions while you are there, they're gonna give you tourist prices, or you'd have to go through some, but a few hoops to be able to get the discount that you need. So to save yourself all that shenanigans, just book your excursions beforehand. The intention for a trip was we're not trying to do a lot of things. We wanted to just chill and also just do a few things. The 2 excursions that we booked while we were here before we left was ATVs and a walk-in food tour. If I continue, if you watched my previous video, the vlog, I put the links to where we booked all of our excursions, which again I'm gonna insert them in this video too, the description box, so that if you didn't watch that video you can still see the links to those excursions. For the ATV, we ended up doing the double rider. So they'll give you different options, single rider, double rider, and then there's also like I think it's polar. I'll insert the term somewhere here, which is a little bit more expensive than the other ATV, sort of like the regular one. I don't know the term for it. Once we got to the place where we're gonna do our ATVs, you had to pay a $20 entrance fee per person. And then they'll when you're doing like the whole check-in process, they'll ask you if you want to pay for insurance, which is optional, which was for just the regular ATV was $25 per person, and for the other kind, the one that I don't know the term of, was $50 per person, and that's optional. They also had photographers who were taking pictures of you through during the whole ride, and also that's another option thing. So if you wanted to purchase the pictures that were taken, it's $65 per person, and that's just the digital version. It's actually, no, it's not digital, it's a CD. They'll put the pictures in an actual like CD. So if you wanted it being emailed to you, you would have to add a few, probably $10 more or $15 more. I cannot really remember nicely, but yeah. So the next thing was the walking food tour. And that was $59 per person. I actually thought that was a good price, just because it was the whole tour was 2.5 to 3 hours, and then we also ended up having a bonus tequila tasting part of our tour, which we did not even know that was part of it. So I thought like that was a good deal. Another important thing too that I wanted to mention was, before leaving the States or wherever you are flying from, ensure that you have booked an airport shuttle. They do not have Ubers from the airport to the town Cabo San Lucas. So the airport is in San Jose, which is about like a 45-minute drive from to Cabo San Lucas. So it's really important to ensure that you actually have booked a shuttle before, because if you don't and you get there, there are all this a lot of like all this airport shuttle vendors who are just coming to your face to try and have you book with them, and I'm sure at that point the price is a little bit higher versus booking them from here. When I was doing my research, honestly, I noted like they're actually a little bit expensive. Ours ended up being $40 round trip, $45 per person round trip, and I think I saw some shuttles that were more higher than that in price. And round trip meaning like they'll pick you up from the airport the day that you arrive, and then they'll come pick you up from your hotel the day that you're leaving. Taxis are ridiculously expensive in Cabo too. You don't want to take a taxi from the airport to your hotel for a 45-minute drive. Like, I think that's just ridiculous. That was part one of this video. That was like before the trip, and now during the trip. Let me talk about, first of all, why we wanted to do all-inclusive versus not an all-inclusive. I don't know, somehow I've heard a lot of bad rep about all-inclusive, especially when you go to, you know, somewhere like Mexico, like Jamaica or something. The reason why I prefer all-inclusive is because technically when you're going for such a trip, you're going to have a good time. You're gonna be drinking a lot. I mean, it's, you know, you're at a beach somewhere, you're in a, you know, a location where the weather is good, you're just having a good time, you know, it's just great vibes going on. So you'll be drinking a lot, and alcohol in itself adds up. Like, it adds up. Think of it, if you're having about, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 drinks a day. I mean, yes, I know that's a lot. I mean, spaced out. Think of it like by the time that day is over, you probably spend close to over $100, you know, like almost $200 just on drinks, and you haven't even accounted for food. I mean, yes, I know a lot of like hotels, they'll probably give you free breakfast, but then there's lunch and then there's dinner, you know, like, and dinner, mostly dinner is just like you're gonna have, you're having like full course meal. That adds up too. So where I'm coming from, I think paying that extra $100 per day for all-inclusive makes sense. You if you account how much you have spent on the all-inclusive versus what you would spend on food and drinks every day, you're gonna be able to like save you're gonna save money by doing all-inclusive versus not doing all-inclusive. Okay, so the other thing was transportation, and this is like one of the things that I really wanted to know, like, what is the best way to move around in Cabo. After consulting Google and also talking to concierge at the hotel, the consensus was Uber was definitely the best way to move around. We just used Uber actually once because when we were going for the food tour, because they were not doing transportation for us, and we only spent like $3 from the hotel to downtown, like the downtown area, which I thought like that was super inexpensive, like $3, come on. When you booked like your excursions, when they're sending you the confirmation email, they'll also like add, you know, transportation. They'll say, you know, we'll pick you up from your hotel at such and such time and we'll drop you back off. Okay, something that we learned the hard way. So we wanted, while we were there, we ended up wanting to do a few more excursions that we had not really planned for before our trip. And so we wanted to do parasailing, and then the glass bottom boat tour to go see the arch. So the parasailing was the one that was a little bit more expensive, and so what the concierge will do, they will trick you. I honestly think this is a trick, honestly. If you've never, you know, for us this was our first time going to Cabo and staying at a resort like that, so we did not know about all this. So they'll trick you and to tell you that, you know, you just have to attend a 90-minute talk about your hotel, and then they'll give you a discount. And the discount that they tell you, like, it makes sense. You're like, okay, I was gonna pay like $90 for this for one person, and if they give me the discount, will be like pretty much like half off. So you ended up spending like that $90 for 2 people. So you think it's actually a good thing, and you sign up and you say, you know what, we're gonna just spend 90 minutes to listen to what they have to tell us, which is a bunch of BS, honestly, so that you can get your discount. Friends, let me tell you, it's all a lie. What it is they'll come talk to you about like timeshares, how you should buy a timeshare so that you can help you save money whenever you're traveling and staying in a resort and in different locations that they have. We ended up spending about 3 hours. I'm trying to convince us to buy this timeshare. If there's only one thing you're going to pick up from this video, pick this up or like grasp this: do not attend those timeshare sessions. It is all a scam, my friends. It is all a scam. You would rather pay full price for whatever it is that you want to do. Pay that full price because it's not worth it. That's what I'll say. It is literally not worth it at all. The next thing I want to talk about is some of the things to keep in mind that I actually was not expecting while we were there. One thing I do not know: Cabo is a desert. It is in the desert, and like any desert, it's usually hot during the day and cold at night. That is something I was not aware of and had not kept in mind. Packing my clothes to wear. Be aware that the temperatures actually drop at night. They drop up to like 50 degrees, which you might think is not that cold, but it is actually cold when you're just wearing, I don't know, like a t-shirt like this. Like, it actually is cold. The other thing to keep in mind, while it is great to eat at the hotel, to try the different cuisines that they have in their different restaurants at the hotel, if you want really good authentic Mexican food, go to where the locals are. And the locals are not at the hotel. The locals are in town, in their downtown. For our walking food tour, we ate some of the best tacos I've ever had in my whole entire life. We also had some really good churros. Our guide gave us these tips, like if you actually want to like eat some really good food, just go there. I think at night, I think he was saying after like 6 o'clock, there was like a main street type. There was like an actual main street in downtown, where he's saying that just vendors come and fill the street with just like local Mexican food that they sell. So if that's your goal, if you really want to enjoy like local authentic Mexican food, that is a place to go to. Something else to keep in mind, especially now that we're still in the pandemic, if you fly out of the country, doesn't matter where you're going to, when you're coming back, you have to have a negative COVID test. When I was doing my research about this, I found out that now the resorts are actually providing free COVID testing for their guests right before they have to travel back to the States. So that is something to keep in mind. I would do my research ahead of time and find out if the resort that you booked was going to provide that COVID testing for you. That is all from me for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have been to Cabo and there are a few things that you remember about your trip and I forgot to mention, I wasn't aware, please leave them down on the comment section below. I love to hear from you. I love to be educated and just grow together. So just leave it down in the comment section below. If you have a question, please feel free to drop a question down below in the comment section below. And again, I thank you all for always tuning in, watching my videos. You're the reason why this platform is growing. I would not have this platform before than for you guys. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. I am actually trying to be more consistent when it comes to uploading videos. Thank you guys again. Thank you for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.